Hello, and welcome to another segment of Smoke Signals. I'm your host for today's show, Lieutenant Chris Taylor from the LaGrange Fire Department. Today, we're on site at the Georgia Forestry Commission, and I have my good friend, Smokey the Bear. So stay tuned, because you're about to watch Smoke Signals. Welcome back. Today I have with me firefighter Ray Brundage of the Georgia Forestry Commission. Hello Ray, and welcome to the show.
Hello Chris, glad to be here.
We appreciate you taking time to be here on the show today and allowing us an opportunity to come out here to the Georgia Forestry to do a segment of Smoke Signals. I think this is our first time actually coming out here, so it's a beautiful day. You know, we can't complain. It's that time of the year.
Yep, I'm glad to be here and help out LaGrange Fire Department and the citizens of Heard and Troup County.
All right. Now, we have, I know you have a lot of information you'd like to share with us today, but before we get into that, if you could just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with the Georgia Forestry Commission.
Well, I've been with Georgia Forestry Commission a little bit over 10 years, and my actual title is Ranger 1, Wildland Firefighter, and I have two other co-workers that are Ranger 1s, Wildland Firefighters, and we're supervised by our Chief Ranger. Our main job is to provide forest protection for the citizens of Heard and Troup County.
Okay.
We have numerous offices all over the state, but we're the ones that help assist Troup County Fire, Heard County Fire, LaGrange Fire, Franklin Fire, battling those wildfires that happen to come up every now and then. All
right. Now, as far as the Georgia Forestry Commission, who is actually the Georgia Forestry Commission?
Georgia Forestry Commission is a state agency that provides forest protection and forest health for the citizens of the state of Georgia. Georgia is pretty much the #1 leader in the timber industry, providing the best quality wood in the world.
Okay.
And
that'll be something to be proud of.
Oh yes, yes. There's a lot of wood products that go on in the timber industry, and we provide, with Georgia Pacific and all the other timber companies, we provide the best wood in the state of Georgia.
Okay, all right. Now, as far as the services that you mentioned, what are some additional services that are provided to the community?
We have on the forest health side of the agency, we have foresters that go out and maintain, manage, and doing their little scientific work on keeping the bugs and the beetles, the fungus and the rust and things of that nature, so the trees don't get damaged and we don't have an epidemic. They manage the forest in that way. And on the other side of the house, we have forest protection. We assist the forest health people with doing control burns, and then our ultimate job, our primary job, is forest protection when the citizens in the county and the county fire departments and the city fire departments need some assistance in battling those wildfires. We'll come out there and assist them. Okay. With our equipment that we have behind us.
Right, and I see that you have a numerous amount of equipment that you pretty much have. You have off-road equipment and bulldozers and things of that nature. So I'm quite sure all that stuff comes in handy when you have a fire, or you have a fire that covers such a large area and you have to go so deep into that fire to actually try to get it under control.
You're exactly right. Some of these fires are just not right in the neighborhood, not right off the road.
Right.
They're deep into the woods of Georgia, and we have to have four-wheel drive and six-wheel drive and tracked vehicles to get to them to put out those wildfires. Okay. And here lately we've been getting some new equipment, new bulldozers and stuff, and to make our job just a little bit easier and us to be more efficient. Okay,
good. All right, now what agencies does the commission typically have a partnership with?
Well, we partnership with pretty much anybody. Mainly we work with, we've been known to work with the Department of Natural Resources, GEMA, Georgia Emergency Management Agency, and the FEMA. We've been known to work with any natural disaster that's in the state of Georgia and out of the state of Georgia. We've been known to go to assist people in Katrina, hurricanes, and this environment when tornadoes hit small towns around here. We have chainsaw strike teams go out and assist the county governments and the city governments removing these trees from out of the road and clearing the roadways. And they have administrative services and logistical support that we can just go in and just start managing that incident and start providing support for the citizens of Georgia. And like I said, we've been known to go out of the state of Georgia all the way anywhere in the United States. Okay, now you recently had an opportunity to go outside of the region and provide some services. You'd like to elaborate on that? Oh, that's correct. I had my tour of duty. I had to go to California and assist in the wildfires out there. Okay. I was on an aviation crew that was helping the initial attack the fires with the helicopters dropping the water. I spent my 2-week period out there, and other employees of the Georgia Forestry Commission went out, and they were doing hand crews. They were operating bulldozers in other states, in California, Oregon, Minnesota, Montana, where you saw the NBC and CBS and ABC, CNN were covering those wildfires. We were, you had actual Georgia citizens, people from this area going out and fighting those fires. Okay. Now, what is the process of being dispatched to another municipality when it comes to providing a service? Well, as you know, we're integrated with any agency, but mostly our job is wildfires, and we help other states just like they help us. And when that other states, as you've seen on TV, the prolonged fires, those guys get wore out and tired, and they need some help. So they'll call upon us, and if we have people available, we'll go out and assist those other states with what they need, as they have done us, like in the wildfires we had down in Waycross and Brunswick down in the swamp back in 2007. I do remember those. And y'all spent a lot of time down there as well. Months and months at a time down there, weeks and months. Okay. Now, there's been some changes. What changes are happening with prescribed burning and residential burning now in the county? Well, Troup County has grown. It's always grown. We went from below 65,000 to above 65,000, and that embarked a new regulation, a state regulation that's from the EPD, Environmental Protection Division, that if you're going to do land clearing, brush pile burns, you have to do a little bit of preparation for it because of the health and the safety of the burning. The best thing to do is call our office, and we can provide a lot of information, but basically you'll have to get some equipment, air curtains, air destructor curtains and blowers, and you'll have to prepare the area by putting the debris in a hole and things of that nature to do the burn. Okay. And these are EPD and county officials know about these regulations, so the best thing to do is give us a call, and we can give you some good ideas to lower the cost, if not cut the cost, on how to get these brush piles eliminated on land clearing. Okay. And the key word is land clearing. Land clearing, I heard that. And like you mentioned, the county is ever growing. That means that the potential of wildfires also can grow as well. It's always increasing. Yeah. And it's good to know that you all have those relationships with the agencies to kind of help in situations where you need assistance to control some of these fires, and also the equipment that you have available to you as well. And that makes it even easier, because you can't get the job done effectively if you don't have the proper equipment that you need to take care of the situation. That's correct, Chris. Okay. Now, there has been another change to the commission, a recent change, and you want to talk about that recent change that's taking place? Well, as things are changing, going out with the old and bringing in the new. Our old patch, the old red shield's going away, and the one over my shoulder, the new patch and new ideas and changes coming in. The old red shield patch was derived back in the 40s, late 50s. It's been around a while. Everybody recognizes it and everything, but we're making changes. And our director, Robert Ferris, he decided we need some more changes, and he gave us a new patch and new ideas and new ways to do things. Kind of nicknamed the patch the Earth, Wind, and Fire patch. Right. So. That's good. That's a good name for it. Yep.
Now, the old patch, how long has it been in existence?
It's been around, the agency's been around since the 40s, 40s and 50s, and they really didn't have a patch, so they derived a real simple patch. We call it the Red Shield patch.
Right.
And that's pretty much the patch that the citizens have been grown to know and see when they have forestry issues.
Okay, and that's good that the agency is taking a proactive approach to make some changes, identify that some changes need to be done, just to be a more effective agency and providing some other additional services where it'll be helpful for the agency to be able to reach out to the community and the community to actually find out, what services the agency does have.
That's right.
And specifically like the social media networks that are out there now, Facebook and Twitter and Skype and all those different things that are out there on the market now that we didn't have, 10, 15, 20 years ago is now readily available to the general public.
That's right. I believe we do Facebook.
Okay.
I think we have a Facebook account.
Okay.
But we do have a website. It's www.gatrees.org.
Okay.
And that has a lot of information about the Georgia forestry, what we provide. And a lot of citizens really don't know what we actually do for the community.
Okay.
And if they take a look at that website, it gives them the answers, what we do, and also it has a few services like burn permits and seedlings and things of that nature on there about how to get those services done and things of that nature.
Okay, well, it's good that you all have that information available. And when you talk about those social media websites and things of that nature, a lot of agencies do have Facebook where they can reach out to the community, which is a great tool because you can put information on there, and that cuts down on phone calls in a lot of cases, depending on what information it is that needs to be put out. So, but you still have to make that phone call every once in a while to make contact with someone.
That's right, and we're available to do that too.
Right. And do you have a telephone number where people can call to get additional information?
They can call our office. It's 706-845-4122. If you have any type of burning questions, any question you have, we'll give you the answer. We can get you in contact with our county forester, Paul.
Okay.
And if you have some type of fungus or rust or bugs crawling around in your trees, he's the man to call, and he'll come out there and answer and get you on the road to curing your trees.
Okay.
He's kind of like a tree doctor, I guess. You could probably say that.
Right. Well, in our next segment, we're going to be talking a little bit about burn permits in general and the burn ban.
That's
so
correct.
We're going to have a lot of information on that. So when we come back, we'll have more here on Smoke Signals. Welcome back. We've been here talking with firefighter Ray Brundage from the Georgia Forestry Commission. And Ray, we have some additional information that we want to provide to our viewers today. And one of the biggest things that we want to talk about right now is the burn ban. So, the burn ban has been in effect, and it soon will be lifted. So talk a little bit about the burn ban.
Okay, the burn ban goes in effect on the 1st of May to the 1st of October. And that is generally a state law or state EPD regulation that we support with the Environmental Protection Division. It's for the air quality around Atlanta and around these towns that have over 65,000. Like I stated before, it goes in the 1st of May and comes out on the 1st of October.
Okay.
And that's when, the atmosphere's got humidity and stuff, and that, that smoke kind of lingers. So.
Right.
So when the temperature goes down in October and stuff, they lift the ban, and you can start doing your burning outside in the county. Be advised that you must have a burn permit, though.
Okay.
That is a state law. You must have a burn permit to burn material in the state of Georgia.
Okay, and since we're talking about burn permits, even in the city of LaGrange, there's a process that you must follow to make sure that you're burning within the regulations and guidelines of the state. And they will have to call the LaGrange Fire Department, which is 883-2650 to get a permit to burn. A lot of times we run on calls where people are burning in the backyard, and there may be a little small pile of leaves or brush or anything of that nature, but they don't realize that, you know, they need to call the fire department to get a permit to burn, because there are some procedures that you need to follow. You know, the pile's got to be a certain size. You got to be burning the right material. You can't be burning construction material or household furnishings and things of that nature. And so they need to be mindful of that. And it needs to be a safe distance away from any structure. So we want to make sure that if you're in the city of LaGrange and you want to burn, it's not to say that you can't burn, but at least call the fire department so that we can come out, you know, see that everything falls within guidelines, and we'll give you a burn permit.
That's we have the same stipulations in the counties and in the state of Georgia, out in the rural areas, but they're not quite as stringent as the ones in the city limits, because you have all those folks' houses and proximities,
right.
Health issues and safety issues that you have to worry about. But if you want to burn in the state of Georgia, anywhere in the state of Georgia, in Troup County, Heard County, you can dial 1-877-652-2876, and that is an automated number, and that is the way you can get a burn permit in the to burn out in the county.
Okay. And
we also have, like I stated before, the easiest way to get one is our website, which is at www.gatrees.org. That's the simplest, fastest, quickest way. The burn ban's fixing to come out on 1 October, so I'm pretty sure that 1-877-652-2876 number is going to be very busy. So
right.
You can call that number at 8 o'clock in the morning and still burn that afternoon.
Okay.
As long as you have a burn permit in the state of Georgia, you can burn your material that day.
Right.
And you must get one every day.
And also with that, there's a time frame where you cannot burn in the evening, and I think it's darkness at dusk or whatever.
That's correct.
So that is something else that everyone needs to be mindful of. If you do get a burn permit, you need to make sure that if you do get a permit, that your fire is out and under control by dusk.
That is correct. So we don't have that lingering smoke and it's going out into the road.
Right.
And, safety, and that inversion layer comes down, and you'll notice if you ever have a campfire or putting in your fireplace the evening, that the atmosphere falls down and it pushes that smoke down. You'll notice that your smoke chimney or smoke plume will go up about 20-30 feet. Right. And then it shifts off, unlike it does in the daytime, where it goes up into thousands and thousands of feet, right, and dissipates into the atmosphere. The atmosphere comes down every night. It's called the inversion layer, and that smoke just lingers around between the houses and in the roads and obstructs the roads and becomes a health and safety hazard. Right.
Now, there's a burn regulation that you wanted to mention about the 6x6. Can you talk about that?
It used to be that the piles had to be 6 foot by 6 foot. We kind of changed that a little bit. It's now if you have a hand piled. It doesn't matter how big it gets, as long as you have a permit for a hand piled. Now, I've seen some pretty big hand piles. Right. I've seen some motivated individuals make some pretty big hand piles. But if you piled it by hand, you can call the automated number, or you can use the permit on the website.
Okay.
So, and if you have anything like acreage burns, you need to call the office 706-845-4122, and we make sure that you got your fire breaks in and those stipulations. You've met all the stipulations for a control burn, and then we put it in the computer, because we can only have so many control burns a day, right? Because of the personnel that we have and the equipment we have, and also permits are on a day-to-day basis, and some days you just can't burn, like rainy days and cloudy days. The smoke has to go somewhere. Right. So we have to monitor the conditions of burning, and we take those readings every day. Right. And we have our little meteorologists and stuff assigned to us, and they tell us the next day if we can burn or not. Okay.
Now, from a statistical standpoint, what are the number of fires that the Georgia Forestry for the state of Georgia, not the state of Georgia, but for the Troup County area, responded to in the last calendar year?
Last year in Heard and Troup County, we had a couple hundred fires. I believe it was like 125 in Troup County and a little over 100 in Heard County. This unit responded to and had equipment on the ground on those wildfires. You know, some of them might have been a little bit, 100 feet by 100 feet, and then like I said, some of them are in large acreages of 20, 30 acres.
Right.
But either way, we were there to answer the call when the fire departments needed our assistance.
Okay. And if you had to say what was some of the contributing factor, or what the biggest contributing factor to some of these fires, what would it be? Well,
as you always know, humans are the biggest contributing factor of wildfires. This past year, the lack of rain and the dryness and the droughtness that we had, Mother Nature threw some storms over us, and it's been lightning strikes.
Right.
And we've had some lightning strikes out in the rural areas that people just can't see, and those fires festered just like out west, and they got some pretty good sizes, and we had a couple that were 30 acres and one that was about 40 acres. But once they were seen and caught, we got onto them. We got our tractors on them, and the chief made an incident control base up, and we got those fires out. So.
Okay. And we had a very active year too, as far as lightning strikes in the city, as far as house fires. So it's been a very active year with lightning strikes across the country, and that is something we got to be mindful of, because you can't predict those, but you got to be prepared when it does happen.
The citizens in Hurd and Troup County are very mindful of fires. They'll see them on the side of the road, and they don't see nobody out there. They'll see a fire off in the distance riding in the highways, and they call the 911s to let them know, and we go out there and check them out. And sometimes it's good that they had done that, because that fire's not monitored, not supervised, and it needs to be put out. So it's not like I said, not a safety hazard or a health hazard to the subdivisions and the houses within LaGrange and Troup County. Those fires need to be extinguished.
Okay. Now, what is the difference about outdoor burning in the fall versus the spring month?
There's a really big difference in there. It's mostly the tree health. In the springtime, in the summertime, you have your vegetation and your trees growing. You have the sap flowing through them, and they're alive and aware of what's going on. And if you run a fire through there, it's either going to kill them, or it's going to stunt their growth or shock them into where they can be killed.
Okay.
Sometimes it's good to have a fire in the summer times. We do that to rid some types of vegetation, but the majority of the control burns we do in the wintertime, because that's when your vegetation is dormant. The easy way to say it just goes to sleep. The sap starts flowing slower. Sometimes it just stops, and it's just easier on the health of the tree.
Okay, all right. Now, another topic that we want to kind of finish up with. We got Fire Prevention Week coming up, and
that's in October.
Fire Prevention Week, we have observance, and the theme for this year is No Two Ways Out.
That's right.
Specifically concerning having a fire escape plan in the home, which is always important, but there's also need to be an escape plan if there's some kind of wildlife fire. If you're out camping or anything of that nature, you need to kind of look at where your exits are when you're out and about, so that if something does happen, you know where to go and how to get out safely.
That's my philosophy, and the forestry's philosophy also. Always have an exit plan.
Right.
We use LCES. When we go into a wildfire, we establish safety zones, and you always got to be mindful. You always got to have an exit strategy to get out of there. And it's the same way if you're out there, like you said, go out there doing a campfire, and it decides to get out. You want to have a place to go and a way to get there in a safe manner.
Right, and Fire Prevention Week is observed October the 7th through the 13th, and we want the citizens to be mindful of that, to make sure that during the month there will be activities going on concerning fire prevention. And like we said before, always remember to have an escape plan, no two ways out, whether you're out in the wildland or if you're in your home, because having an escape plan is important, and we want to make sure that everyone stays safe and know what to do in any type of emergency that may cause them to be trapped.
Yeah, and in the forestry, in the wildfire business, it's the same way in our LCES. That L stands for look out. You just have somebody out there looking out and communicating. And you have your escape route and your safety zones. But the big thing is you got to have somebody monitoring it and communicating, letting you know that it's there, I see it, it's there, this is the way we get out.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you. And we want to take this time to thank our guest on the show, Firefighter Ray Brundage, and also Smokey the Bear. And until next time, take care and be safe.
Only you can prevent wildfires.